Alright, so this is question 8, June 2019. Functions question. We finally started section 2. So f of x is 9 over 2x plus 1. G of x is x minus 3. They want one value is f of x. It cannot be. That is not going to be in the domain. So I've given a little explanation there. F of x is a fraction. It is a rational function. It is a fraction. And we know that a fraction is not valid if 0 is the denominator. So to find out the part of the domain that it cannot be, we have to let that equation at the bottom be equal to 0. So I am saying 2x plus 1 cannot be equal to 0. That means 2x cannot be equal to negative 1. That means x cannot be equal to negative a half. This is our 1 mark question. That is it, right? Some people can just watch here and know, right? Can just watch up there and know that this is, you know, negative a half. But if you cannot, this is how we do it. We make the denominator not equal to 0 and work it. All right, in the next section, they want a simplified expression for fg of x. Fg of x, we are always working this way. We have to put x in g and then g in f. So I have rewritten it as this to remind us. And then like this, 9 over 2 times g of x plus 1. Because instead of x, I am going to put g of x. So 9 over 2 g of x plus 1 becomes 9 over 2 times x minus 3 plus 1. We want to expand our brackets. 2 by x is 2x. 2 by negative 3 is negative 6. Simplify that denominator, 2x minus 5. This is what we are after. This is our final answer. 9 over 2x minus 5. And this part would be our second, where we actually input g of x into the function, right? That is our 2 marks right there. All right, 8a part 2 part b. I've given all the steps for finding the inverse, and this is a really simple function. So step 1, let f of x equal y. So y is equal to 9 over 2x plus 1. Switch places of x and y. Rewrite and cross multiply. Expand and simplify. Make y the subject. So forth. So this is my final answer. This is going to be 1 mark here. It's only 2 marks. And I will probably give a mark at this point. That you've reached there, 1 mark. All right. 2 marks. Ooh, 8 part B part 1. We are given a diagram, shows 2 triangles, and we have to show that the area of the larger triangle ABCD is equal to this. So you break it down. The area of any rectangle is length by breadth. What is the length of ABCD? I always go the length is the longer side. 3x plus 4. The width is 3x plus 2. So that is what we have there. Therefore, the area of ABC is 3x plus 4 multiplied by 3x plus 2. So this is testing expanding binomial brackets. So 3x by 3x is 9x squared. 3x by 2 is plus 6x. 4 by 3x is 12x. And 4 by 2 is 8. I've color-coded it so that y'all can see. Equating both areas of ABCD of 9x squared plus 18x plus 8 is equal to 44. When we break this down, we know we cannot solve a quadratic unless it's equal to 0, and we want it equal to 0. So let's bring the 44 over. Opposite of addition is subtraction. 8 minus 44 is minus 36, and every number here, every coefficient is divisible by 9. So I'm dividing the entire equation by 9, and I am going to get x squared plus 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. Shown. This was 3 marks. So 1 mark for getting that. 1 mark for reducing it, and 1 mark for multiplying it. So that is our 3 marks there. Right, CXC is very stingy with their marks these couple of years. All right, so 3B part 2. Use the quadratic formula to solve for x since the answer must be given to 3 decimal places. Okay, so usually we tend to tell children to try factorization first and then the formula sheet. But if the question tells you that they want your answer to 3DP, then you know already, listen, I need to use the formula. So from the formula sheet, this is our quadratic formula. For this quadratic, I am writing down every value. A is 1, B is 2, C is -4, and then I'm substituting because I do not want to make a mistake. All right, so substitute, I put everything in, break it down. At this point, I prefer, because the calculator has this function for the square root, to put this in exactly as, and then get a division, right? So when I did that, I got x1 is 1.236 and x2 is -3.236. Remember, it is to 3 decimal places, right? However, length cannot be negative, so x is the positive value. X is 1.236, so this is 1 mark, and putting everything into the formula is 1 mark. This was only a 2-mark question. All right, so now we had to calculate the perimeter of the unshaded region. So we are going from A to B, and then B to C, and then C to E, E to F, and F to G, and finally G to E. So we have a closed circuit. That is what we're going to do. So the perimeter of the unshaded region is same thing that I've outlined. Now I'm going to put the values in. 3x plus 2, 3x plus 4, 3x, 4, 2, and 3x. Reduce everything, 12x plus 12, and then we know that x from the last question was 1.236. I multiply that by 12, and then I add 12. I'm going to get 26.832 centimeters. 2 marks. 1 mark for my final answer, and 1 mark for any of the working up there. 2 marks for a total of 12 marks. All right.